Hey everybody, thank you so much for taking the time today to learn more about Contentstack. My name is Seth Friedman. I'm your account executive. I'm based out of Dallas, Texas, and I'll be sharing some more information on Contentstack with you all before we really dive into the platform. I also wanted to introduce Brady. He's based out of New York. He'll be your technical guru for the session today, and we'll be able to give you he'll be able to give you a platform demo. As we go through today's call, feel free to drop any questions in the chat and we'll work on answering them as we go. So let's jump right in. Why are we all here today? As you've probably seen, digital interactions are far surpassing any form of connection with brands these days. From a high-level overview, we're seeing that companies are just having a hard time keeping up with this digital-first economy. In fact, 70% of customers today interact with brands through digital means first, so we really need to make sure companies are prepared for creating the best digital experiences to engage their customers and keep them coming back. And with creating these amazing digital experiences comes with creating personal experiences for their customers because customers are people and they want these digital experiences to be personal. 76% of consumers tell us that they are more likely to purchase from brands that create personal experiences and are able to deliver content to all their digital channels at the right time and at the right place. From what we've learned from our existing customers and what we're learning from brands like yourselves is that sometimes with your current technology stack, your team may be experiencing challenges that are holding them back and making it harder for them to engage with their customers. You all might be feeling these pain points today, but it could be that old tech isn't keeping up or more and more dev cycles have to happen just to make that old technology even work, or even small tasks are becoming extremely time consuming and everything's just manual. All these problems are making brands feel overwhelmed and they might not know where to start to improve their digital journey. If you're feeling this way, you're not alone. One great example of this is Levi's. You're probably all very familiar with Levi's and might even be wearing some Levi's jeans as we speak today, but they're an American clothing company best known for their denim jeans. Levi's has a large focus on creating strong consumer experiences. They know that their legacy tech stack was holding them back from being able to tell their story and engage with customers at every digital touch point at the right time. They turned to us. They turned to Contentstack. They felt comfortable, confident to trust our experiences to help adopt a solution that proved worth the education and investment. With this investment, they realized a 29% increase in online revenue and engage better with their customers. Brands like the Miami Heat, MongoDB, Iceland Air, and many others have heard buzzwords like headless, composable, and mock. I'm going to guess that you all have heard these buzzwords before. These companies knew they needed to do something, but didn't know how or where to even start. These brands ended up putting their trust in Contentstack, and that's because we have a no-fail policy, which has resulted in a 98% customer retention rate and a 97% willingness to recommend. We're not just a technology vendor, we're a partner. Brands that have evaluated us have an interest in telling more stories and can do so by publishing faster and new geos through new experiences. Now they can future-proof their digital investment and deliver personal journeys that has a tangible financial impact. And you can be like Levi's and be ready for a full transformation, or maybe you're just like HP. In fact, many customers are honestly just like HP. They came to us with a critical business initiative, something they needed to move fast on, and in particular, faster than what their current systems can support. So they chose Contentstack for that initiative and saw success. And then they chose to invest in us long-term as a full replacement strategy for their legacy monolith solution. Now this initiative has become the highest growth initiative in HP history and launched in just 50 days. Both Levi's and HP had requirements, which were a tech platform that was second to none, a true headless CMS that started a composable digital experience journey, a company with expertise, which wasn't just proven after purchase, but was demonstrated and proven time after time through evaluation process. And three, proven economics. And it's not just HP and Levi's who had those requirements and trusted Contentstack. It's all of these brands as well. The number one toy manufacturer, Mattel, number one gaming company, Riot Games, and the number one golf equipment company, Callaway. And the list just goes on and on. All these brands, these customers of ours, recognized that a change was needed to be made. And yes, we fully understand change is hard, but having someone that's ready for that challenge, like all of you have joined us here today, is where change starts. Brands have decided to put their trust into the hands of Contentstack to enhance, transform, and augment their digital journey. I know I just said a mouthful, but with all that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Brady, and he's going to just show you how Contentstack works.
All right. Thanks, Seth. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And because we've got this webinar view going on, I don't think you guys are going to be able to come off mute and chat, but we do have the chat bar down at the bottom of the screen. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to paste them in there. And Seth, if you could just monitor that, then we'll take your questions as they come up. But really what I want to do is just walk through the product at a pretty high level and really focus on the thing that really differentiates us and the thing that helped companies like Levi and HP choose Contentstack as their next CMS. The main thing that I'm going to focus on is the editorial experience in Contentstack. So what I'm going to start off with is what I usually call Contentstack 101 or CMS 101, right? What is our system? Well, it's a headless API first content management system, runs in the browser, no need to install. We also operate on a SaaS license, so no need to install any updates or upgrades, right? Sort of a managed service in that way. And then, as far as Contentstack 101 goes or CMS 101 goes, right? What does a user want to do in Contentstack? What's the purpose of our tool? Well, a user wants to change, preview, and publish a piece of content. It might be an existing piece of content like I'm looking at here. You can see this is just, a sample homepage that's going off to our demo site. It might be creating a new piece of content. But what I'm going to do is just make a quick change to this page. So, what you can see here is the sort of form-based view that we have on our entry editor screen. Everything that you would expect to find is here, title, URL. You've got the promo bar. We've got a couple of banners being referenced into this entry. The bulk of this content is actually being housed in this content block section. So, essentially this is functioning as a little component library that I as an editor can select from. So, I want to add a call to action or a banner or embed a blog post or a video or something like that. I can select from these sort of prefab components that my developers have designed and made available to me. And then, of course, we have some SEO and search information down here at the bottom of the page. But let's just say I want to make a quick change to the promo bar here. What I can do is just pop it up in the live preview pane here. So now I have the form-based view on the left. I've got a rendered preview of all of my content here on the right. So I'll just mouse around here so you can sort of see what this site looks like. This is our demo site. So obviously, everything is pre-configured here, standard in terms of functionality, blog posts, assets, of course, all coming from Contentstack. We've got some products coming from a third-party tool for e-commerce. We're doing some personalization on these banners up here, so we can sort of dynamically switch them out based on the shopping intents that our front-end users display or end users display. What you can also see in here are these little edit icons that are popping up as I mouse around. So, we want to change this promo bar. Let's say, we're going to drop this from 125 down to 75. 125 is a little excessive, right? So what I'm able to see here is I make a change here on the left. I see it reflected here on the right. We haven't actually committed any content yet. So what this is letting us do is basically make a change without affecting any content that's in production. Same thing with this call to action here, right? I want to maybe add some more emphasis onto this call to action. Let's get rid of this. I don't even speak Latin. We'll take it out. Then maybe I even want to change some of the formatting of this page, right? Let's say I want to really promote whatever this call to action is linking out to. So let's drag and drop it up to the first position here. So it's sitting above these image cards. Boom, looks great. So now I'm ready to send this out, maybe not to production, but maybe I want to send this to other stakeholders within my company or somebody else on my team who might not be in the CMS right now. What I can go ahead and do is hit publish. Select my preview environment. We have this system called environments that essentially lets you single source content really easily. It's pretty common with our customers to run with about 3 environments. You have something for a couple of lower environments, a preview environment, maybe a staging or a QA environment, and then something tied to your customer facing site. Usually you'd call that production. We also have a really clean solution for localization, which you can see here. We support, I think it's a little over 210 locales out of the box. You can customize the fallback logic. You can sort of set up, what I would say is sort of like a tree-based view of these locales and how they relate to one another. And then the last thing that we're seeing on this publishing menu here is, you can see I have a couple of options for when I want to publish, right? I can publish now, which will send this content pretty much instantaneously. Again, that's a huge benefit of working with the headless tool. We're really just sending off an updated piece of JSON, so very lightweight response, very performant APIs. Or I can go ahead and schedule this content, right? So if I need this to go live at a specific date time group, let's say Saturday, I can schedule it down to the individual second. So we'll say this is going off 1 second before midnight. It's already got my time zone selected. So I could send it and forget it. Let's just publish it now. Send it off with any updated references. Got the confirmation that just went live. So let's go ahead, pop this open into another tab. This is my preview environment again. But we can see updated promo bar, updated call to action, updated order of these components in here. So lightning fast in terms of the publishing experience. And again, everything that I'm showing right now, we just designed our platform to be usable by marketers, by editors, by business users. There's no filling out a ticket with IT. There's no talking to a developer to copy and paste your content into some HTML tag, or you don't have to learn JavaScript or anything like that, right? Everything that I'm showing right here is meant to be usable by editors, right? A couple other points that really help our platform shine that I would call out. First, I would say our workflows. Our workflows are extremely granular. They're integrated perfectly with our system for roles and permissions, or setting up custom user roles or user groups, as well as our publishing rules, right? So, this is something that really makes us an enterprise system as opposed to, just a neat little developer tool. We work with a lot of large enterprises that have, multiple different teams in the CMS, sometimes working simultaneously, collaborating on different pieces of content for, either one or multiple different, sites, channels, applications, whatever the case may be. So a great way to divvy up those permissions between teams, between users, and also add in a sequence to those permissions is with these workflows. So I popped open the workflow menu here. You can see the stages that I've set up. Some similar process or a process similar to this is pretty common amongst our customers, right? What you can do with these workflows is set up really granular permissions, again, using the custom roles that you can set up, which basically governs what a user can access. You can essentially associate a user role with each of these stages, or a set of user roles with each of these stages. Who do you want to send items from stage to stage? Who do you want to edit items at each stage, if anyone? And again, publishing criteria, right? What criteria needs to be fulfilled before this content goes live on X environment, right? Hey, in order to publish this to production, workflow stage has to be completed. Maybe I want to add a human review in there, say somebody with the role of admin or webmaster needs to check a checkbox, give the final, omne domine before it goes off onto the site. You can see I can also make specific task assignments here, right? So, if I were assigned to one of these specific workflow stages, if I had the role of SEO reviewer, for example, first I would have very targeted permissions. So I can say, somebody in the role of SEO reviewer only gets access to these SEO and search fields, right? You get write access here, and you get read access to the rest of the entry, but I don't want you switching out any of the content, title, URL, promo bar, so on and so forth. And then I would also get an automated task assignment when, if I were assigned to this workflow stage. So, content goes into SEO review, I hit update. Now I just got a task created in my task list, something that I'll call out as well. And I'll try to show our automation hub towards the end, but basically any action that a user takes in the system on, entry create, content update, on save, on publish, on workflow stage change, those are all opportunities to kick off automated processes under the hood using our automation hub. You can see translation is in here. That's a pretty common example. So we have the ability to create, either automatic or bespoke task assignments. So if I want to tag my SEO reviewer and say, hey, this is due by tomorrow, I can tag myself because it's my demo account and I'm the only one in here. I can trigger an email notification from in here. I'll add in the only comment that I ever get from my team. Please fix it, update. And again, you saw the task update here. So here I can see a view of everything that I've been assigned, the due date, who assigned it to me, where it's at in the review process, when it's due, all of the comments that I give myself during demos, all of that sort of stuff. It's all viewable in here. And then wrapping up on this entry editor screen, just a couple more things to call out. First and foremost, we version everything automatically. So if I just wanted to make a quick title change again, hit save, you can see version appear at the top right, automatically increment. So now we're on version 121. If I want to see what's live where, I can hit the status icon so I can see which versions are live on which environment. So it looks like production still at version 105. I have all these different environments running different versions of content. Again, these environments can be different sites, different channels, applications, things like that. I can hit this version drop down here, and a couple of things to note here. We don't limit the number of versions that you can store in our system for these entries. We also have an asset manager as a part of our solution. Assets are versioned automatically as well in a very similar manner. We can give these historical versions names to make them a little easier to find, or just make them more human readable. We can also we can roll back to any of these versions. All these historical versions are immutable, so version 20 will always be exactly as it was when I first hit that save button 4 or 5 months ago, whatever it was. I can go ahead and pop open the version compare screen. So this is going to display a highlighted diff of any changes between these two entry versions. I'm also getting this sort of audit style information up here at the top, saved by published to. That's all coming from our in-platform audit log, so I can see who made these changes, when these changes were made. If either of these are published, where are they published to? You can see version 121 is live on preview. And I'll also call out, just a couple quick points about extensibility. We have an extremely extensible platform. What I mean by that is we give you and your dev team to either make use of apps and functionality from our marketplace, and those are all one-click installs. Or you can build your own applications on top of Contentstack in our developer hub. Very straightforward process either way. And we have, rack my brain a little bit, I think we're up to 6 extension points in the platform now, and basically each of those extension points is going to give you the ability to define a different sort of experience for the editors or the users of Contentstack, right? I can do anything from develop custom dashboard widgets to create custom toolbar functionality for this rich text editor to, I can create a custom field. I should have an example here, integrating with an e-commerce system. This is a pretty typical example to, something that our e-commerce or retail customers might be doing. I have products living in a PIM or an e-commerce engine or some similar tool, and I have all of my content living in Contentstack. How can I link those two together? I've got this custom field spun up. This is an example also of one that's in our marketplace. So again, one-click install. All of the apps in our marketplace are built and maintained by Contentstack engineers as well. But I can hit this add products button. It's going to drop me into whatever third-party tool I'm working with. So I'll go ahead and select this parfait jar, maybe the coffee maker too, right? So I'm able to query this third-party system, see the results in here. I can filter this down, make a selection, add them into Contentstack, see that updated here. And I can do that as an editor. Again, no talking to a developer, no filling out a ticket, no copying and pasting UIDs or images or anything like that. It's extremely seamless from the editor's perspective. I'll also, if there are no questions on the core editorial experience, I'd just like to jump really quickly into our automation hub, and then I'll wrap up by talking about support. But really, our automation hub is a game changer, especially thinking about what's available with other headless systems. I have my demo automation that I should click into, and let's just pull up this auto publish to prod. what is our automation hub? Essentially, it's a trigger and action based tool for for automating automating tasks either across systems, internal to Contentstack. We have some really cool use cases for our automation hub, that our customers are using around. I think I mentioned, localization, translation is a big one. Communications is a big one. I mentioned the task assignments earlier, right? Maybe I want to export those tasks to Jira, or I want to, trigger a Slack notification or a Teams notification when an item reaches a certain stage in my workflow review process. There are also these cross-vendor use cases. For example, hey, I just added a new product into my PIM. Let's listen for that update from that third-party system. When it happens, I want to pull in that new product, spin up a PDP, maybe tag the responsible users to come in and fill the rest of the content in, and then publish it to preview so I can see what it looks like. Got a really simple automation spun up here. I call it auto publish to production because it automatically publishes something to production. I mentioned this tool is based off of triggers and actions. So, I set up my trigger, which is, basically criteria for when I want this automation to run. So I'm using our workflow trigger to say, hey, anytime a piece of content enters the workflow stage of completed, I want you to run this automation, and then I can set up a set of actions. So the two actions that I have in this case are, hey, I want to automatically publish that piece of content from step one to production. And then I want to confirm with a Slack message. And something I always call out here is, we're able to pass data in between these steps, right? So I can say, I'm going to tag this Slack channel. I'm going to send the title of the entry that we published. Maybe I also want to include the name of the environment that we're publishing to, or the user who published this piece of content. Hey, Brady published homepage to production 5 minutes ago, something like that. Right. So pretty simple use case, but I'm sure you can, the gears are turning, right? Then if I go to add a new step, a couple of different paths I can take. This is a huge area of focus for our product team. So I can either just add another action. I can add a conditional path, which will give me some if-else logic. Hey, if you find this, I want you to do this. Otherwise, or if you find this piece of data or data of this type, take these steps. A repeat path is going to let me iterate over, basically an array or a group of data. You can see, we've got a whole host of third-party integrations spun up here, right? Again, different use cases around communications, around commerce, around things like site search, asset management, and of course, we always have our Contentstack action, which will let you automate tasks internal to Contentstack. Think about auto publishing, auto creating, auto updating, saving content, changing the workflow stage of a piece of content. And really, what this automation hub is geared to do is just reduce the number of manual tasks that an editor has to take in order to do their job, right? Last point, and then I'll get off my soapbox, is our support. I'm sure Seth mentioned something about our Care Without Compromise program. That's our support program here at Contentstack. A big part of our support program and our support team is having 24/7 readily available human support in app, right? So I hit that chat with support button. I'm in the queue. This is going to connect me with a real, well, first it's going to connect me with Stacky. And then it's going to connect me, if I had talked to a live agent, right? These guys work for Contentstack. They are real people. They're not bots. Their average response time globally is under 2.5 minutes. Again, they're 24/7. They're a great resource. You can see I'm already connected, and I'm probably going to get a Slack message on the side, asking if I actually need help or if I'm just doing a demo. When I first joined Contentstack, I used to talk to these guys all the time, so I didn't have to bug my manager a whole bunch. But so I can personally attest to the fact that these guys are an excellent resource. They're also available over email. And I think that's going to about wrap it up for me. So, thank you for your time. And Seth, if you have any closing comments, I'll pass it back to you.
Perfect. Thanks, Brady. It doesn't look like we have any questions, so I just wanted to thank you all for taking the time today. Brady and myself, or anyone here at Contentstack, will always welcome a further conversation. And again, thank you all for your time. I hope you all have a great rest of your day.